Good morning to you all, and thank you for joining the DAT Masterclass. The objective of the Masterclass is to provide you with some examples and learnings by the experts who are working with CBOs on developing your product packaging and how to reach out to the CBOs. So the experts will provide you with some anecdotes and examples on how CBOs are adopting technology and what are some of the challenges they see, and how can enterprises like you support the CBOs in improving their operations. So they will be speaking from their experience on pitching to CBOs. So we have one of the first speaker that we have is Mr. Tushar Jagta. He is a general manager at Sayadri, and he handles the supply chain and logistics of Sayadri. And he has worked extensively with AgTech enterprises across the different value chains. He has understood the challenges that CBOs face and how AgTechs are supporting CBOs with technology. So I would uh, request Tushar sir to just quickly begin with a quick introduction and what Sayadri is doing and how technology is being used by Sayadri in the supply chain.
Yeah. Good morning, everybody. Thanks, Ajay and IntelCap and Smart team for giving this opportunity to me to explain my views on this context. Basically, I'm not a technology guy. I am taking care of supply chain division at Sayadri Farms and have been working with different departments in Sayadri Farms since last 7 years. I have been working with procurement, was closely associated with the exports department. Before 2 years, we started the supply chain division, which is also managing the end-to-end supply chain of the product from farmer to the consumers level. So I just want to narrate my experiences, what I experienced in this period, or what Sayadri experiences this player, and what made this success. Few of the technology implementation which we did in our company, how it benefited us, and what was the reason behind that. So very first thing is that Sayadri is the largest grape exporter from India, and nearly around 250 metric tons of grapes we were handling every day right now. And since 2016-17, when we were doing all these things and volumes were started increasing, we were having a big problem in data at farm level, managing our vehicles, managing our logistics, managing our labor teams, as well as our inwarding operations. And that's when we first of all thought that if we want to solve this problem, because the scale is increasing, we need to have a technology. We started interacting with few of the startups and few of the established players at that point of time, and also got some technologies from there. But again, the solution was not up to the mark, and the main pain areas were still not resolved. And subsequently, we find that somehow these people are not getting the right problem. And around 2 to 3 years, we invested in this development period. And in 2018, we thought that we need to have a very strong technology partner with us, so that they can understand our process properly and develop this system as per our requirement. And at the same time, the thought was clear, because we were also starting to associate with the farming farmer producer companies under Sayadri Farms. The same technologies should be used within the group farmer producer companies as well. As such, we come across with one of the startup, and this thoroughly actually, in fact, studied entire process from farm level, how the planning of the procurement is done, how the vehicles are leaving from the factory unit, how the laborers are engaged with the vehicles, then how it reaches to the farm, and from farm, how the material is picked up and how it is inverted in the factory. And that entire process, these people streamlined in such a way that initially, when we were handling 150, 200 metric tons of fruit, it was very difficult for us to manage all the things, and everything was on the was a whack. but somehow these people handled it in a such a way that we could able to manage now. As a company, we are having a management capacity that we can even handle 1,000 metric tons or 5,000 metric tons on the same kind of technology. Only managing the fruit supplies or the labors or that kind of things are there. But from the technology side, everything is in place. And that's when we got confidence that we can solve our skill, the problems arising due to skill with the proper implementation of technology. I will give another one example, and then I will come to the point that what a Sahyadri or a CBO would expect from the technology companies if they really want to implement their technologies into the farmer producer companies. So another example is we started our tomato procurement activity in 2017. Again, it was around 400 metric ton tomato procurement processing plant. And we were approaching to the farmers, we were approaching to the suppliers for supply of goods. So you know that tomato is a very fluctuating commodity. So at some point of time, when the rates are up, we were struggling to meet our procurement demand. But at the same time, when there is glut in the market, so instead of 400 metric ton, more than 1,000 or 2,000 metric ton of produce is also arriving at the factory. And everything was managed over the phone calls and everything, and it was getting messed up. Many times we finding farmers or suppliers quarreling at the gate point with our management people, or in between them, because for the gate entry and inverting and all the kind of operations. Again, we discussed with this technology partner, and they developed a simple booking kind of system wherein we just display our demand that today we need 400 metric ton of tomatoes, and a simple application is given to all the suppliers, and they started booking their quantities on the application. And this is suddenly the entire problem at the gate level got solved. We started giving them lots, time slots, and our inwarding operation got smooth up. Our even the planning, labor planning, our factory planning, our maintenance timing, everything could be managed based on the that system, because our supplies were entirely in our control. So I just mean to say that if a solution is really solving the problem, then definitely any company like Sahyadri or any other company will go for it. When we talk about farmer producer companies, I feel there are 4-5 important things everyone need to keep into the mind. One thing is, I think all these points are well known to each other, every one of us, because most of us are working in the technology field only. But I just want to reiterate these things, because I think that even though we understand these things, but these are the most crucial things. And if we work on these things, definitely solution is there. One point I feel is that the technology or the system, whatever we are implementing, it should be very, very user friendly and very easy to understand. Because at the farmer producer company level, or even at any business level, the ground staff who are actually implementing the system or using the system, they are very crude, you can say, or less educated. That kind of people are there, especially in the agriculture domain at the ground level. So it should be very easy, so that a very lowest grade of person should able to implement that. So that is one thing, because along with this technology, we also try to implement few other systems in our company, but somehow they failed as well, because it was those technologies was not that much simplified or user friendly. So that is one point. Another thing I feel is that it should be very, very convenient. Like as I said, for tomato booking, we given a mobile app. But again, with the experience, we found that mobile applications. So farmer is having 1 or 2 months period in his 3 or 4 months crop cycle, where prices are down, and he wants to supply to Sahyadri his tomatoes. And for those 1 or 2 months period only, if I am asking him to install an application and use it continuously, it makes no sense, because most of the times for his need, he starts using application, but subsequently it just get absolute. So instead of that, now we are working on a WhatsApp bot. So that kind of a WhatsApp bot system where farmer will message on a particular number, and that message come to us, and basis that only the booking will complete it. So that kind of simple technologies where farmers engagement or his again user friendliness and everything is catered up. That kind of things are need to be taken care, because it will be implemented so fast and will be very effective. Another very important thing I think is the technology should have a monitoring kind of tools, like suppose in case of grapes, along with the procurement system, we also had a rate approval system. So like our field officer is going on the field, he is discussing the rate, the chart rate with the farmer as per the quality, and punches the rates into the system. And on the mobile application itself, suppose I am the head of the department, the approval request comes to us. I review the entire quality, what is the quality, why this rate is given, whether it is in the chart list company has prepared, and I approve. So it's giving me confidence that whatever activities at the field level are happening as per the norms and as per the system, and I have a complete control over the system. So I feel monitoring tools like maker checker systems and everything, so that kind of things are again very important for farmer producer company or agri businesses. Similarly, like analytics, so most of the tools are available, people are using it, but if we could give a kind of a small kind of analysis like average purchase rates, average sale rates, whatever system you are using, or if you are using a quality system, so analytics kind of things are also very important to monitor the business properly. And I feel such kind of tools are more aggressively accepted by the businesses. So that is another important thing. And most important and foremost is affordability. If it's at a very lowest cost, then nobody will think about its implementation or adaptation. The cost and effectiveness, if these two things are properly combined, then I think technology usage at the farmer producer company level or CBO level is very easier, because everyone is understanding the importance of technology in the day-to-day functioning. If I want to run my business successfully in an effective way, technology is must. But at the same time, if this technology is not at the affordable cost to me, many of the times I feel that let's not go into it right now, because I don't have that kind of budget for now, and I might skip the my implementation or deployment for certain time. So I feel these 4-5 things are very important. Overall, I feel that there is a very big opportunity for technology implementation in the farmer producer companies or CBO level, because there is a huge gap, and many of the companies are working into it, but they are still struggling to sort out the grassroots level or real problem in the system. There are systems, but still there are gaps. So what we are right now trying is to cover up each and every aspect in the supply chain or in my process digitally, so that I don't have any kind of loophole in the system. So we are working with our technology partner in that direction, and I feel that it's having a really great impact for Sahyadri's overall development and future course of businesses. I think from my side, whatever I understand, whatever I experienced, I have tried to explain on this platform. Once again, thanks Ajay and team for giving me this opportunity. If we have any kind of questions, we can take it, or we can also discuss on later. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, sir. So before we begin, before we move on to Samir sir, I just had thank you for sharing the insights on having affordability, having clarity, and ease of use These are some important things that we have also been talking to the tech enterprises. One aspect that I wanted to check with you, sir, was how is it about capacity building? So, आपने technology use किया है, you have taken up the specific technology. How long did it take for Sayadri to start adopting the use? Did it have any? Did they need to have any local partners that had to support you? Is that something that you've seen? How are the capacity building to the farmers, awareness building to the farmers? So one of the next steps that these enterprises will be doing is reaching out to CBOs, reaching out to community-based organizations, FPCs like Sayadri, and they would be pitching the ideas or solutions that they are going to give to the CBOs. So is there any insights or guidance on uh, how they can go to the field? What is it that they can talk to the farmers? And how long does it generally take for them to keep some on-ground support for
I would say that
adoption?
this question is to me, no, Ajay?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. Uh, I feel that when there is a very critical problem, no, like in grape, as I mentioned, so every day planning 250 metric ton of fruit arrival with around 120 vehicles and somewhere close to 1,200 labors, and every day somewhere close to 100 plus farmers plot. So that was a challenge in front of us. So, and every day there is a challenge with the labor, because labor was not getting the right plot, the farmer was not getting the right labor or vehicle. So that kind of problems was there. And when this problem got solved within, I think within 1 week's period, most important thing is that the technology partner and Sahyadri team itself was very eagerly involved into everything, because our team was closely associated with them. We were jointly surfing on the field and understanding the problems. We were validating whatever they were making or whatever they were proposing. We were validating that, and we were also trying to give them suggestions that no, this will not work. Sorry, this will work. So that kind of arrangement was there. So I think two things were important: that proper grassroots level challenge assessment was there, and most important thing is validation with the expert who was already handling this kind of operations manually. So when these two things got combined, the result were very fabulous. And that's when in case of grapes as well as in case of tomatoes, two examples I made, we have made technology interventions at many more instances or many more points. But at these 2 points, technology implementation was done within a week or 2 weeks period only. And everyone was happy, even the farmers. When we started with tomatoes, and ask farmer that we will give you an application and you should book from that. Initially, there was resistance. But when the farmers found that sitting at his home, at 5 o'clock, he's getting a notification that the demand by Sahyadri has been raised and you can book your material. And he's sitting at his home only can book the material, and he's getting a slot that tomorrow at between 9 to 10 a.m. you can bring your material to Sahyadri. And at the same time, in the morning 9 to 10 a.m. he's arriving at Sahyadri, and by 10:30 he's leaving the campus. And before that, there was 6 hours, 10 hours, even 1 day waiting he had experienced. So within even 10 to 15 days period, we find that entire operations were smooth up. So I think that the most important is what problem we are solving. If that is a very the most crux of the matter is that the most important challenge, if we are find a real solution and very simplistic solution around that, that will definitely work. And again, there is very important that either CBO or farmer producer company, the representatives of the user, and their perspective to implement this technology for reducing their pains is very important. If there is a good technology, but at implementation level, if that kind of support is not there, then there will be definitely challenges. But if we find exact problem and we have a very effective solution, and if we effectively communicate it with all the stakeholders, then implementation, I feel, is not a big problem.
Yes, thank you so much. Ankshwati, please do write it in the chat. We would be collecting these things and will be asking at the end. So there is a 30-minute Q&A session at the end, which would include questions to the speakers and to the smart team regarding the next steps.
Sure.
So please do add in the
Let
chat.
me write it down. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Anshuti. Thank you, sir. Thank you for that information.
Thank you.
We will be getting back to you with there are many questions coming in the chat, and Shruti also had raised the question. So we will reach out to you at the end of the session. So
Sure.
thank
Thank
you
you.
so much. Now I would request Samir Kumar from Jivika. Yes, sir. Welcome, sir. I'm happy to introduce Samir Kumar. He is the state project manager at program manager at Jivika. He has helped work with multiple CBOs and has promoted organizations in Bihar. And as many of you are aware, Jivika has been a flagship program of the World Bank in livelihoods development. So I would request Samir sir to start give a brief introduction of himself and give some insights to the AgTech enterprises in the meeting about how they can support CBOs and how they can reach out to CBOs and give them some factors of what are some things that CBOs might be interested in looking at with respect to technology. Yeah, thank you. You're on mute, sir.
Good morning to all. First of all, thanks for giving a chance to express my views on technology solutions enterprise customized with their products in Jivika. We are working in around more than 1.25 crore.
Sorry about that. So after the sessions that we have Samir Kumar sir and we have Mr. Vankade from ISAP. And after that, we shall be having a presentation on what the next steps are. So we have sent you a mail. We will be taking you through that very quickly and giving you the next steps and what are the process, etc. And after that, we will have a Q&A session for about 30 minutes from 12 to 12:30. Sorry, 12:30 to 1, wherein you can ask your questions. You can also please add these questions to the chat room so that as and when the sessions go on, we can have these clarified and clear. Are you back, sir?
Actually, right now we are working with around 32 producers company in Bihar, and these companies are working in farm-based activities and non-farm and livestock also. 32 producers company around states completely they are functional and working. We have a around 1200 producers groups are there in farm sectors and 600 in non-farm sectors and 300 producers groups in livestock segments in Bihar. These all are directly linked with our CBOs, and first of all, in institutional building aspects in Jivika IVCB component, we are using technology for tracking their data because these are the root for our other enterprising segments portfolio like PG, PCs, and individual entrepreneurs. So, for example, just how we can monitor their financial transactions at the level of SHGs, VO, through PGs, through producers company. We have a separate MIS segment, and we are using different kind of apps to monitor their data and other systems. We have a dedicated pool who are operated their different kind of dashboards and used and monitor their data, how they done their financial transaction at the level of individual entrepreneurship segments and producers company and producers group. Second aspect is that in training component, how we can train our community members for the different kind of technology in
Sorry, I think there's some technical issues, Mr. Sunny's side. Let me check if. Wankhede sir, Gajendra Wankhede sir, are you in the meeting now? I can see you are on mute if you're speaking, sir.
Ajay, in the interest of time, can we take the questions that were directed towards the Shah sir?
Sure. Okay. So Anshoti, sorry, you had a question, and I think in the chat, Tushar sir is responding to the questions.
Right, right. So my question is very simple, that we are a farm analytic company. We serve farmer on various risk mitigation during the cultivation stage. And, and during that time, we pick up a lot of data, and we generate further analytical output for it's, organization like Shahidri, and as the gentleman has nicely explained the activity around the logistics part, etc. So will there be any feasibility, or I would rather like to know how can we discuss further on this matter?
Yes, Tushar sir, would you like to take it?
Yeah. I think I have replied on the chat box as well. On procurement side, entire operations are digitalized. On this crop forecasting and that kind of thing, we are still working on it, and 100% solution is not available with us. And if some kind of technology solution is available in this line, which can sort out the purpose in a simplistic way and having the kind of accuracy, we are for associating with such technology partners at any point of time. We can discuss it separately as well. So whenever you have time, we can have a meet or a personal meeting or a online meeting, and we can discuss this.
Certainly. So I mean, you mean that we should connect you for this matter?
Yeah, no problem. We can discuss. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank
you.
Jacob sir, can I ask? Am I in line?
Yeah,
sure, Tarang, right? Yeah.
Okay. Jacob sir, are you looking at any automation, end-to-end automation technologies on the irrigation front with respect to pump automation? Because we have a patented technology which is IoT enabled and can take instruction or irrigation schedules from any other third-party app as well.
Basically, I am a supply chain guy, but
Okay.
Sahyadri is always open to new ideas and new technologies. So, as I mentioned, if it really solving the key pain areas and key problem, then I feel that our team may support. I can connect you to the respective department. I will share my mobile number on the chat box. And connect you with the respective department. You can talk to them separately, and if it's working, you can go ahead. Thank you.
Sure, sir. Sounds good. Sounds good. Thank you so much.
So some issues. So I think we will move to the presentation first, then, so that in lieu of saving some time, so that by the time the others can join. Is this visible?
Yes, Ajay.
Is the slides moving?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Is the slide still visible?
Yes.
Okay, so so Samir sir and Gajendra ji would be joining in. They just got dropped off. So we will continue with the presentation, and then maybe we can restart the session once the presentation is over. Okay. So thank you all for joining us again. And as we move ahead with the boot camp, I would like to take you through the presentation very quickly and next steps that will be done in the boot camp. So right now we'll be talking about the previous session that we just had a week back, where we introduced the context of the project and the facility. And then we talked about the next steps and what are the next steps that we are going to do next. So in the previous section, in the orientation meeting last week, we provided you with the context of the facility. What were the benefits that both the enterprises and CBOs will get from being part of the facility, and what are the next steps that. So these are the next steps as we move towards them. So the team shared. So during the meeting, the team also shared some insights on building effective relationships with CBOs with respect to meeting them personally. As Jagtap sir had raised, we have we would have to talk to the CBOs, reach out to them, identify the problems, and create a collaborative solution. So I am aware that you are working with a lot of CBOs, you're working with farmers, but each CBO has small changes in their organization and in the way that they work. So it would be good to connect with those CBOs. We have provided you with the list of CBOs and the contact details, where they're located, and what are the products that they are, commodities that they're working in. So please do identify them, reach out to them. So we will get there soon. You would also, while speaking to the CBOs, also take the support of the DIU, RIU in the district. Once you identify which CBOs you want to work with, the best way would be to reach out to the DIU, RIU of that district, because they have more context and understanding of the district. They will be the ones who will be facilitating awareness building, capacity building of these CBOs. And they would be aware of who the board of directors are, who the members are, who should you speak to, and how can we reach out to these CBOs, and what are the challenges that they are facing. So another point that the team was talked about was to ensure that the pricing, Jagta sir also raised the same point, that the pricing needs to be reasonable, needs to be ensured that whatever the CBOs get is transparent and is reasonably priced and affordable for the CBOs. And also build the solutions in a collaborative manner. So the next steps. So the next steps is designed to streamline the process of generating the final proposals. So as you're aware, once we start once we part of the facility, we would be moving to identification of the CBOs. Then we would be moving to communicating that your solutions to the CBO enterprises that are there in the list, and then help them in developing a letter of intent. So the letter of intent is a intent for partnership. So these are, I'm sure you have seen the template of the letter of intent, the format that we had shared. We will be taking you through that format also, so that if you have any queries, we can clarify those during the session. Sorry. So each step of this facility will help in CBOs identifying what are the best fit solutions that they would like to adopt and use in their day-to-day operations. So so as you can see, we have around 300 CBOs across different districts. You can see that Ahmednagar, Latur, Kolhapur. This was the slide that we had shared last week, wherein we provided you information of how the distribution is of all the CBOs and what are the different crops that they are producing. So from last week's conversation, we had said that you would be reaching out to the CBOs. We received a lot of queries regarding which CBOs to select, how do we select them, how do we streamline those, would a lot of DATs be reaching out to a lot of CBOs, individual CBOs? There could be a lot of bombardment of information to some specific CBOs. So what we have decided is to create, there is a form that we had developed. We have shared that form with you. I'll just quickly, so the form was shared with you in which we have asked for which are the 8 to 10 CBOs that you can select 2, 3, 4, 5, any kind number of CBOs. There is no restriction to that. But we would like to have around 8 to 10 CBOs that you can identify based on your area of interest. So you could look at the commodity and geography specific. It is not limited to that. It is dependent on the solution that you provide. It is open to all CBOs in that list. So we would be asking you to identify the 8 to 10 that you can focus on, so that when we structure the deal rooms in the bootcamp, we would have an exact idea about which. So it will be more focused and targeted, that you will not be reaching out to all the CBOs and will be limited to these 8 to 10 as of now. But it is not limited to this, is what I'm trying to say. So in the form, you will be filling the information of which CBO you would like to work with. Along with that, there is also a question on SPOC. A SPOC is a state single point of contact for your enterprises. So these would be the people whose names would be going into the catalog. So the catalog would have contact details of all the SPOCs of each of your enterprise. So this is to ensure that the CBOs also can reach out to you. So the 8 to 10 CBOs will not be limited to the facility. There could be CBOs outside the 8 to 10 that you're identified that might be interested in your solution. They might be in a different geography. They might be in a different commodity that they are working in, but would like to know more about your solution, would like to know more about how they can be part of this facility with partnering with you. So they might need to reach out to you for query resolution. So this is where the SPOC's details would be important. So the information, we have your information, but most of them are with the people in this room and might not be the right person for the CBO to reach out to, as they might need queries that are specific to local areas. So I'm sure you have local partners, local people that you're hiring for the facility or for the other projects in Maharashtra. Please do share their contact details, designation, and name, so that we can add that to the catalog that we have done. So this is the letter of intent that we have shared. So I'm sure you must have seen the letter of intent. We would request you to reach out to the CBOs. And during that, we would ask you to identify the CBOs that you're working in, and then identify DIU RIUs that are in those districts. So if you are working with CBOs in Aurangabad or Ahmednagar, please do reach out. So you have identified 8 to 10 CBOs, you have put it into the list, and then you would be reaching out to the DIU RIU to help you in whatever ways that the DIU RIU can in helping reach out, build your awareness of the solution to the CBOs of the solutions. So this will help because the DIU RIU is part of the district. Also, to give you some context, the DIU RIUs are the district implementing units, regional implementing units. Some districts, most of the districts have a district implementing units. The contact details of these have been shared with you along with the CBO details. Once you identify the CBOs, please do reach out to the DIU RIU, as they are on the ground. They understand these CBOs. They know what are the challenges. And if there is any query from the CBO, if they are not reaching out to you, if they need to reach out to the smart project team, the route would be through the DIU RIU and then to the smart PCMU. So any queries, they would be the central point where all information would be going. So it would be really helpful for you to reach out to them once you identify the CBOs that you want to reach out to. Once you have a contact with the CBOs and the DIU officials, please do have a rapport with the CBOs. As Jagtap sir was talking, a solution has to be collaborative. You'll have to understand the challenges that these CBOs face to improve your solution. Sorry. Once the CBOs understand what the solution is, build more awareness about what is the solution going to help them in. How can you start developing the letter of intent? We will be sharing the letter of intent with the CBOs. They will be having those information, but they might need your support in developing this letter of intent, because some of the questions, as you can see, the DAT enterprise name, technology adoption, etc., about what is the technology support that the enterprise would be providing, what is the reach that the enterprise would be providing to the CBOs, what are the proposed outcomes, and timelines and budget. These are some information that the CBOs will not be able to create by themselves. They will have to take some support from you, and we would expect you to handhold them and provide them some information and required support to develop this letter of intent. Once the letter of intents have been finalized between the CBOs and you, we would be asking you to submit the draft letter of intents to the organizing team. So please do submit that. We will share the timelines with you when this has to be shared. So this letter of intent is not a big document. It's a one-page document. We would like you to provide little information in this. Just keep it crisp and clear. Information needs to be very specific as to what you're planning to do, where you're planning to do it, how you're planning to do it. So these are the basic questions that we're asking. We would be once the letter of intents comes in, they would be assessed, and they would be we would be asking you to develop a detailed proposal where you would be given the opportunity to explain and expand on the summary of support that you're providing to the CBOs. Here we would be asking you about more detail of how you're planning to do it, who would be supporting it at the district level, what would be the timelines, what would be the people who would be allocated the work, etc. So once you have the letter of intents developed, we have also shared an email with you about registration for bootcamp. So the registration, the bootcamp would be held between 14th to 18th of December at the Kisan Agri Show. The location would be in Pune. We would be providing, we have discussed with the team and have identified a specific booth for all the enterprises. So all the enterprises would be given prefabricated Octonorm 4 square meter size booths. Each enterprise will get one booth. And once you are in the booths, we would be structuring deal rooms. So based on the letter of intents that you will be sharing and the CBOs that you're working with, we would be structuring the deal rooms of 30 minutes each, so that enterprises and the CBOs who are coming for the boot camp are able to speak one-on-one and discuss and finalize the letter of intent. I'm sure you would be discussing the letter of intent in detail with them and how you would be proceeding. But in the deal room, we would be expecting you to finalize the letter of intent, because there would be smart PCMU, we would be there, and also you would have the DIU RIUs from the districts. So if there is any queries that the CBOs would like to ask, or if DATs would like to, enterprises would like to clear out, those things can be done during the deal rooms, and the letter of intents can be finalized. So that by end of, so by 18th of December, we have the final list of all the LOIs that are moving to the next stage. So the timelines look like this. All the steps in this timelines is critical. We have kept the timelines short. We are aware that the next season is going to start. We are also aware that this tech enterprises would be wanting to start from Kharif, at least the phase 1 of the project. So for that, we want you to register for the bootcamp by tomorrow, the last date. If there is any queries, do raise them in the Q&A section. Once the registration is done, you would have 15 days to identify the CBOs that you would like to work with and help them in developing the letter of intent. So 10th of December, we would be expecting a letter of intent to be submitted, a draft letter of intent. These need not be finalized. The finalization of those letter of intents will be done in the deal room during the boot camp, which will be from 14th to 18th December in Pune. And once the letter of intents are finalized, then we will be moving to the proposal stage, which would happen in January. So we would be identifying the letter of intents that would move to the proposal stage, and we would be asking the CBOs and the DAT enterprises to work together to develop the proposal together. So I would, 1 minute. So before we move to the next stage, I would, Dr. Preeti and Vijay sir, are you in the meeting?
Yeah, Dr. Preeti is here.
So I would, before we move on, I would request Mr. Vijay Kolekar sir. He has a previous work experience in working with Pokhara and is currently the capacity building head in the Smart PCMU. We also have Dr. Preeti, who's a technical officer at Smart PCMU. She will be handling the CII component, the proposal development part that I have been talking, I just talked about. She's been handling this for the last 2 years, and since the beginning of the project, she has been instrumental in the operationalization of the of this facility, and she has been part of the registration, the evaluation process, and she has been there from the beginning. So she is aware of the Smart AgTech integration facility from end to end. So once the proposal stage begins, the Intellicap will be handing over that coordination process with the Smart, and Vijay sir and Dr. Preeti would be taking over the process from there. So I would request Vijay sir and Dr. Preeti to give a few words, and if possible, take the enterprises through the slide. So for the next steps. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
So good afternoon, everyone. As Ajay mentioned that PCMU Smart Team will be back in action once the proposal stage is arrived, and these are the steps PCMU team will be acting on. So after the finalization of the LOIs, the CBOs and DAT enterprises will have to develop it further into a detailed proposal under CII grant. So under CII grant, the guidelines will be released soon by the PCMU team to DIUs and RIUs, and checklist of documents will be provided, both for the DATs and for DIUs and RIUs. So what will be the checklist? What are the norms to be checked, and the specifications regarding the proposal formatting. So every details will be provided required from the DATs and CBOs for finalization and submission of the project proposal. So after, yeah, Ajay, please, can you full screen this?
Yes, sorry, my network just.
So after the LOI stage and the final proposal stage begins, so PCMU team will be handling proposal stage, followed by the guidelines and the issuing all the guidelines to the districts and regional level officers, and engaging them with several boot camp, several online sessions. So RIUs and DIUs will be facilitating at the regional and district level for proposal development by engaging with the CBOs and DATs. And recommendation letter is needed from the PIU head and RIU head for this proposal approval. So along with this recommendation, the project proposal will be submitted to Smart PCMU. Here at the PCMU level, we will be handling these proposals by a procedure followed by the assessment, and district-wise assessment will be done by PCMU officers, and we will be presenting it to our project director, who is an IS officer, Mr. Kaustubh Divekar. So under his chairmanship, we have a committee called as SPAC, which where the proposals will be presented through all the districts, and the grants accordingly will be sanctioned. So this is how the team will be, smart team will be acting after final handover of the IntelliCap team. This is what I wanted to just intervene in between. Thank you, Ajay.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. I would request you all to write your questions in the chat room or chat box. Someone was trying to speak. Sorry, I couldn't see who it was.
I think Tarang had a question earlier. I'm not sure if it's addressed now.
So we will proceed with the masterclass sessions for next 15-20 minutes more, and then we can have a Q&A session open to the floor. So please do write your questions in the chat box, as I said earlier. We would have that session where we would be giving all the enterprises the access about what these, if you have queries regarding the presentation or regarding any of the processes that are there. Yes. So I would request Gajendra sir. Hello.
Yes.
Are you here, sir?
Yes. Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible, sir. Would it be possible to start your video?
Okay, I will share.
Meanwhile, Shreyas, sorry, Ajay,
Yes.
Is Niranjan joining here?
Yes,
Sir,
Niranjan is
I'm here.
also on the.
Namaskar.
Okay, you are already there.
Three of us are there. Me, Shruti, and my colleague Sneha. Three of us are here.
Okay, ठीक.
Okay.
Then we
So
can
once,
receive the questions and then respond there. Okay.
Yes. Please do respond in the chat, Niranjan sir, if you can respond there. Else
Yeah,
we
sure.
will have once Gajendra sir's session is over, we would be asking you to provide information on the Kisan show, and then we will move on to the Q&A session.
Okay, sure.
Yes, sir. I would request you to kindly introduce yourself, sir, and would be happy to understand how you have been working with CBOs and how you have been supporting technology enterprises being adopted by the CBOs, and how CBOs, what are the things that CBOs are looking at when they are thinking of adopting technology? Yeah.
Thanks, Ajay. I said sorry for interruption because earlier I lost my network signal, and before that I was on another call. So I tried to join, but I lose network. So myself, Gajendra Wankhede, I am working from last 22 years with CBOs, and especially technology adoption and transfer, and with agribusiness perspective. So as and when agribusiness perspectives comes, then the CBOs needs are changing. So if there is a woman farmer group, if there is a FPO or male farmer groups, their need for technology changes. But the common need for everyone is market linkage and to get the good produce of their good price of their produce. So that is price realization for their produce. So here I'm sharing some big stories. We are having a lot of stories of adoption of small machinery adoption, uh, small technological software adoption, and market linkage. But as I know, as I learn, here we are working for CBO, especially for FPCs. And those who are in a smart project, they wanted to prepare their project accordingly for their needs. So I will emphasize more on FPCs and market linkage. So I will share my slides. Kindly permit me, Ajay.
Give me a minute, sir. Yes, we should be able to.
So technology adoption for especially CBO is concerned, then we are having a lot of experiences of adoption and its dissemination. At the same time, we are having experience of rejection of technology also by CBOs. It depends on the way the technology is disseminated and the technology itself, how the technology can work or satisfy the need of the community. So I will put some 2-3 examples and we will discuss over it. First, what we learn in such a crowd, that technology should be user friendly. It's common criteria, the cost effectiveness, easy to adoption with minimum skill set. We are working in a skill sector from last 12 years for rural youth, women and entrepreneurs. So we learn that the minimum skill set is required for adoption of technology. So there is no need to adopt to get the maximum technology. Farmers or community needs very smaller technology for to satisfy their needs. Then decentralization is most important. Technology information decentralization is more important. Now today we are using mobile apps and many things for decentralization of technology. And last is that technology satisfied the urgent need of that community. If it is satisfying the urgent need, then nothing can matter. Cost doesn't matter. Everything cannot matter if it is satisfy the urgent need. Say, for example, one small machine is there and it is satisfying the need of the farmer, which replace the 2 or 3 laborers, then he will adopt anyway. So CBO is having maximum strength to adopt technology as compared to individual, because CBO is having joint adoption level. They are very comfortable with a joint approach instead of individual. Then technology cost is minimized. When CBO is adopting the technology, then the cost is sharing. Then training or participating in training or getting the skill set is very easy for CBO or group or FPO. And another criteria that is important is CBOs can adopt technology with custom sharing model. This is main criteria what we experience, that custom sharing model is very good performing with CBOs and individuals also, those who are not organized, but after getting the technology, the 10-20 farmers get registered their group and do their job. So here some stories are there which are related to our machinery use or small farm mechanization. What we say, the small farm mechanization is needed, but exactly small farm mechanization, how the technology works and how the adoption goes in rural area, that shows the small farm mechanization technology wise.
Sir, sorry, I think your slide is not moving. If you are,
Yes.
oh, sorry, your slide is not moving, sir. I think, still on the first slide. You can just maybe keep it in this way, maybe not expand it. Yes, now it's moving. Now the slide is moving. Yes,
Sorry.
it's visible.
So I'm putting some 2-3 main examples that is more important for our target group, today's target group. This is a small farm mechanization adoption with minimum skill set to women SHG of women farmer group and Mavim women group in Akula districts. So we are having 12 small machinery. We identified it according to need of that target group. That is urgent need of labor, which saves the labor, which saves the cost, which save the efforts, and especially in a woman case, which minimize the drudgery of woman. She didn't want to bend while working, or she don't have to have a good have a very much drudgery, because women are very hard worker, and if they get user friendly technology, then they adopt first rather than males. So this is one of the proven technology which is in market today, but this event we did in 1917, 17-18, before COVID, and we work with some 110 women and 10 to 12 SHG groups. This is the good example of small machinery adoption, which is taken itself by the SHG on with taking their cost. So we are talking about mechanized harvesting of cotton, but mechanized harvesting of cotton needs too much machinery and uniform harvesting and many other varietal aspects. But we are using, our groups are using handy machine to harvest the cotton. And then many times plantation in intercropping in a horticulture plantation, we cannot use big machinery for sowing of the crops, or many times there are gaps in main crops. We can adopt a small machinery for that purpose, which a single woman or single person can adopt. So this is a very good example, and women are very nicely adopting that. Second example is we are coming to market linkage for the FPC. In 1918, we have tried the technology for market linkage first time. That time there was not any solution for market linkage and any strong solution for direct market linkage. So we use mobile applications, WhatsApp group, Facebook groups, and we will. So we are trying to reach to get the farmer friendly technology. So here our federation was working there. Now it is government federation. It is taken by central government. It's a FIFA. And for FPO federation, FIFA, we were working for market linkage. This is a good success story that FPO, especially FPO in dry community, they are adopting. Next is example of market linkage, but it is highly technical example. Now presently I am working for the Gram Heath, which is a market linkage platform, digital platform, and we provide a mandi at hands of the farmer. This is very Gen Next technology that presently we are delivering to farmers or FPCs. And this model is recently appreciated by Forbes. So Gram Heath Mandi is a very technological based platform which help farmers or FPC to get price, scientific price determination of their produce. Scientific price determination is very important for market linkage. Next is to get the access to buyer. That is another important aspect. And third is to get actual price realization for their produce. These three aspects are fulfilled by this model, Gram Heath Mandi, and we are specially using it. Those who are interested, they can contact to me for this, as this is newer technology and we are adopting it from last 2 years. So this is the very short technological adoption lecture with more emphasis on CBOs and FPCs. If you are having any questions, you can ask, or you can ask in Q&A session. Ajay, over to you.
Thank you, Gajendra sir. This was very helpful, and we are working with a lot of these enterprises that are providing services similar to Gram Heath. Gram Heath might be one of the contemporaries here. So there is some example of how Gram Heath has helped any CEO. Is there any adoption challenges that they have faced? So is CBOs interested in working with a solution like that? What are some challenges that you are seeing? Is that something that you can quickly put as a in a
Yes,
minute?
yes. There are two main challenges. One, as a part of CBO, one is working capital for purchasing of produce of their farmer members, and second is good buyer, source of good buyer in their district or in their region. And these two challenges we are overcoming it with linking them with a good buyer. We are searching for the buyer. We are having um, models to satisfy the buyer need.
Okay. And is it easy to convince the CBOs? I mean, how are the CBOs accepting these technologies? Are they using it on a daily basis? Is
Yeah,
there
yes.
all those?
Presently, we are working with the 3,000 farmers in Akola, Yatmal, and Parbhani districts, and in Andhra Pradesh. So it is very user-friendly technology for adoption point of view for FPCs.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, sir. So I would quickly ask Niranjan sir to take the hello. Niranjan sir.
Yeah, namaste. Yeah, I'm here.
Yes. Yes. So I would request you to kindly introduce yourself quickly and take them through what is the bootcamp that we are talking about, how they can register for Kisan, and what is it that we are planning to do there.
Okay. Namaskar. At the outset, I would like to thank Department of Agriculture Smart Project for choosing to be at Kisan. So I'll just briefly tell, I hope most of you are aware about Kisan, like we are hosting this exhibition since 1993. So the event which is happening on 14th to 18th of December, we have total 9 pavilion, but now in the first hall, we are creating a separate pavilion with the name Smart, where we are planning to accommodate all the startups. And along with that, at the entrance, we'll have a Department of Agriculture stall also. So about the exhibition, in 5 days, we would be expecting about 1.5 lakh farmers, farmer leaders, and all the professionals working in agriculture. Majority of them, of course, 90% would be from Maharashtra, but then 10% would be coming from across India. The registration has already started now, so we hope that about 90,000 visitors would be registering online. So the one major interesting thing which is changing in past 4-5 years is we are trying to digitize them. We are trying to get these farmers or visitors on a digital platform. So if you're participating in exhibition, you would be able to connect with them before the exhibition, during, and even after the exhibition. So once you decide to participate, we would be requesting you to create a digital profile of yourselves and add information about your products and services, which would be visible to farmers who are registering online. And there's a facility wherein they can just one tab, and then you'll get an information that, okay, Mr. Ajay Shenge or Mr. So-and-so is interested in connecting with you. So, and you'll get his verified mobile number also. So I'll now request my colleague Sneha to share the screen. So Sneha, is it possible for you to share the screen?
Yeah. Yes, sir, just a minute.
So I'll just explain the plan accordingly, like what we are doing. Because what we are planning that as per the suggestion by Mr. Koikar as well as Ajay and the team, we have a space for all the startups, and in the center there are 10 cubicles, which you're calling it as a deal room, can be used for discussions with the partners, like your future partners. So
So just a second. Yeah, I'm sharing. Is it visible now?
Not yet. Yeah, now it is visible.
Yeah.
So in this pavilion, like see on the outside, we'll have a Department of Agriculture stall or smart stall. But once you enter, there's a reception in the center in the front. So the rooms, can you just take a top view, Sneha? Top, so you can see the tables.
Yeah.
Still further. Yeah. So okay, that's good. So on the periphery and in the center, we have the cubicles for the startups. And in the center, the round tables, what you see are deal rooms, wherein they'll enter from the front. They're not open for the public, which is moving from outside. So this is about it. Right now, yes, Neha, you can close it now. I think the link what we have shared, you can book a 4 square meter stall at 20,000 rupees. If you need additional space, I think you can reach out to us. If it is possible, we'll let you know. But now, as of now, what we have planned is all the startups will have a 4 square meter cubicle. That's it. Shruti, do you wish to add anything?
Yes, Namaskar. I would like to add that if certain startups, want to have a bigger area, they can please let us know, because we'll be creating the location, the layout basis on the exact requirements. So Ajay, one more thing, by when can we get like the exact requirements and exact confirmations? Because we are standing on the 1st of December. So it's really short time now.
Yes, so we have asked all the enterprises to start the registration process, and we are expecting them to complete it by tomorrow.
Okay, that will be good.
So tomorrow we'll be getting all the registrations in place, right? And
yes.
Okay, great.
So
Thank you.
we do have a lot of questions coming in. So we
Right,
would be
please.
Yeah.
So there would be some question answering. We'll be answering most of the questions here, but there might be some questions that we might have to go back and get back to the
Right. So if there are any questions right now, please, regarding related to, of course, Kisan and your participation and the process, please feel free to ask us.
Yeah, one small, Ajay, I wish to add that we are offering only one stall per company. Like, so
That's
my
right.
request is we would like to accommodate as many as possible, but only one booth, because these are subsidized booths. The normal stall cost is about 1 lakh rupee, wherein we have subsidized the space by 50%. So you can take one booth, like preferably a 4 square meter booth. Yep, Ajay, please continue.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much.
Sorry to interrupt. This is Shubhangi from Fasal. Actually, we were not aware. We just got this rates recently, but we had already booked earlier with on the higher side price actually.
Shubhangi, we can refund that amount. That's not a problem. Like, you decide where you wish to be in there, and that's not a problem. Okay.
Oh, okay. That's great. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
Hello team. Hello Ajay. Sohan here from Arya Agritech.
Yes.
I just want to know that we want to place some TV screen kind of thing. So is that facility available, or what arrangement for that we need to prepare?
Hey, you can rent it.
Okay, we can rent it, but what about its safety? By the end of the day when the stores are closed, so do we need to carry it along with the day, or it should be safe?
No, it will be safe there. It will be
Okay.
safe.
Remind me, So Ajay, if I'm not wrong, the basic process is just to complete the payment process and give you the confirmation, so that you can just allot the stall, isn't it?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, fine.
There is also a digital process attached to it, because you can connect with farmers and the farming community before and after the exhibition also. So, once you do the process, our team will call you and, get the digitization process done. That's a very important component of the entire thing. So thus we are requesting you to please complete the process earlier, because there is a dashboard. So if, right now we have time constraints, so we may not take you through the process, but our team will call each and every one of you, and we'll complete your process independently.
And Shruti, we can have a similar Zoom meeting later, maybe.
Zoom meeting later, yes. Once,
maybe on 3rd or 4th, so that.
Absolutely. So we can create another, we can meet again, and we can take you through the entire process of how you can connect on the dashboard and start using digital features.
Yes. So once all the enterprises are finalized and the registration is done, we would have a session in which we can ask. So there would be a process of identifying deal room slots. What would be the deal room slots? How would we design those? Where would be the placements? So these things will be finalized, and we will reach out to you again with those details.
So,
Once the
Ajay,
registration process.
had a question. Whether have
Yes,
you
sir.
conveyed regarding the smart logo, use of smart logo in the display banner?
Yeah, yeah. So those things we are talking with Shruti and Niranjan, and so there will be the logos of the enterprises. So we will be also sharing branding information with all the enterprises. Thank you, Dr. Preeti. So, branding information would be what would be the background like? Would there be a standee? Would there be what would the board look like? So there would be smart logo on one side and the name of the enterprise because it is represented by smart and the logo of the enterprise. So these information. So we also received a lot of queries regarding updation of the catalog. So those are in process. We are adding those things as we speak. Yes, I hope that answers Dr. Preeti's question. Okay, so I would request Parita to just, so we have received a lot of queries on the chat. So I would request Parita to quickly identify some questions that you can raise that uh, we would be happy to respond to.
Sure. We have a couple of questions to begin with towards the form filling and the registration for exhibition. Very firstly is it would be helpful to have an idea of the financial contribution expected from the beneficiary CBOs. Based on the preliminary discussion with some CBOs, there is a high level of reluctance from CBOs to make financial contribution towards CIS, especially towards digital agri-tech solutions.
Okay, so who is this from?
I think it came in from Santosh.
Okay, hi Santosh. So just to understand this question better, are you saying that is it about the proposal part? Is it about once the proposal goes through, would the 40% or the additional amount that needs to come in? Is that something that you're asking about? Or is it about the boot camp that you're talking about? Or Kisan?
The question, sorry, was from Raghavendra. Raghavendra, if you could please give more clarity on the question.
So from what I understand, the CBOs will have to provide 40% of the grant. Grant money would be up to 60% and up to 50 lakh rupees. So the remaining amount would be paid by the CBOs. So currently what we are seeing is that CBOs, as you saw in the masterclass, that was one of the reasons we had the masterclass is to explain how CBOs and FPCs in Maharashtra are using technology. They are starting to take up different solution providers. They are exploring what are the other solutions that are available. And that is one of the reasons that we started this facility, because there is a lack of awareness, there is a lack of process-driven support that is given to these CBOs. So one of the ways that we have tried to do is that we created a pool of enterprises that are being supported by SMART. And this would give some confidence to the CBOs in selecting those technologies. So now the job is to identify which CBOs need those technologies. So there is a list of 300 CBO enterprises. These are not general CBOs. These are CBOs that have been working in the space. They have been identified by SMART based on certain criteria, like what is the work that are they doing, what is the support that is required. They have been sanctioned projects under the PPN MAP project grants that have been given. They are working on different products and different ways, and technology is something that they are already integrating. So it is, they are paying for that service. Now it is up to the enterprise to convince them to utilize their services and see whether they are able to pay the remaining 40%. So I hope that gives you some response.
And I'll request everyone to please put their questions on the chat so we can take them. The next
Kalyani,
question.
please do add to the chat the question, or we can take we can take
Yeah,
you
Ajay,
in the last.
just
And
I'm
Vijay
just
sir,
here.
yes.
Yeah, I'm going through the chat and the questions raised there also. Few of the things are related to how this will go ahead and total association with the SMART and the FPO, CBOs, how that will proceed further. So that is more important, what I see from the chats, besides this boot camp. Okay, this is a starting point, as we say, as you already explained, and the CBO requirements, as you assessed, that we have shared with them, but the actual requirement may differ from what we have already assessed. So when they interact with each CBO or the interested area or interested commodities, then they will understand what are the requirements of the CBOs as on today. So these FPCs, and these are the, again, I'm pressing that these CBOs are not just a small groups, these are the company registered farmer producer companies. So these FPCs have expressed some of the needs to us, to you also, and to the, now they will express their needs to the DATs also. So they will come into a picture when the interaction will start. That is one thing I have to clear in initially. Somebody has raised that they are in input aggregation, and what if they identify some 10 CBOs as per the geography and the crop today, but do not find any interest, and can we proceed anytime in the next few days? So it's quite possible that it cannot happen in a single event, that all the CBOs will be agreeing to your solutions and the agreements. So you can go further. You can interact them after this, before this and after this bootcamp also, and keep engaging with them. And finally, when consensus is developed, then you start preparing the proposal as per the CBO demand. It's not that there is some time limit for first thing, but of course, everything has a timeline, as this is a project. So SMART project expects that the interaction should come to some logical conclusion before some period. Some dates have been, the months have been decided that within that 4 or 5 months, we should come to close, that these are the things which are needed by the CBOs, and these are solutions given by the DATs. Another question I see here, why do you charge from the selected DATs? Should it be waived, not be waived as per the selected DATs? So the concept of waiving any fees is totally against the business rules. As you are in business, you need some clientele base, and this particular opportunity by SMART is given to you to expand your clientele base, as well as to showcase your commodities as well as solutions to more and more farmers and the farmer aggregators. It's not only for the 400 FPCs. You are there to for 4 or 5 days, and as Niranjan has already explained, that 1.5 lakh turnout will be there. So the footfall will give you more and more access, and as well as your recognition. So definitely it is helping the all DATs to grow their expand their businesses. That's why it should not be free thing what we expect something sometimes. Again, will CBOs also participate in Kisan Bootcamp? That's already explained. Then registration, that process has been explained already. You start a registration. We are focused on sugarcane and rice primarily, but we do not see any CBO in the list focusing on sugarcane, even though there are a lot of CBOs in sugarcane dense districts. Can we find out in some CBOs might be interested in our solution for sugarcane also? So it's quite possible that the CBOs are from suppose Baramati or suppose Sangli, Kolhapur area. Their members may be growing sugarcane, but their selected enterprise or selected business may not be related to sugarcane also. But you can support them as a cross-cutting solution. If sugarcane-based solution is there, then you have to find out whether their business is related to sugarcane. If not, then your solution may be related to all other things, the management and all these things. So you can discuss with the CBOs who are coming from the sugarcane area. This way, you can start a conversation with the APCs wherever they are working, and develop the ideas, share your ideas, get their feedbacks, again go ahead. So that way you can proceed further. I think major questions are covered here. Crop forecasting is still not very perfect digitally. Crop forecasting. Okay, we are working with Farm Setu on this. We are open to new ideas, innovation, technologies if find implementable. Is very much welcome that you start discussion with these people or the farmers and explore the ideas how the forecasting can help them. We are farm analytics company, and while serving farmer on the ground during cultivation stage and risk mitigation, we can further push various. So yeah, of course. So the things I think majority comments are from technical point, which can be discussed with the pertaining CBOs and the APCs, and finally come to some conclusion, logical conclusion, how to prepare a proposal. Yeah. So besides that, if any question is there, I have covered a lot of
Yes,
chapters.
sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. This is Kalyani Shinde. I have one or two questions. Sir, one question is from a point of view that, as you mentioned, that there is some timeline it will take for us to get the proposals approved. But we want to, as we are working in the onion space, it also has a seasonality aspect. So if this is not done before the seasonality comes in picture, then we might lose the season altogether. And then it will take a year-long process to again do it. So I just again wanted to check that if the SMART team will consider seasonality as an aspect to prioritize the proposals coming to them.
Yeah, actually, all the commodities they have seasonality. If your proposal is technical nature and it is having some I mean connection with the seasonality of the crop, if you describe all those things in the proposal, get the consent from the particular APC who is working in onion. If the APC says that we need the solution for our year-long things, then we can mess it up. There is no issue.
Okay, sir. And sir, I think second question is from the CBO's point of view. So we already contacted a few of the CBOs which are mentioned in the list, and we've observed that there is a difference of the range of understanding of the CBOs also have for this proposal. So a lot of them are also not clear about what they actually want from this scheme. You know, whether they want a warehouse, what capacity warehouse they want to do. In case of onions, I'm talking about. So we were expecting if there would be some clarity in terms of what requirements they've given to you, then we know how to approach and whom to approach. Because right now they are like, okay, madam, we'll see, we'll talk to you. So if there is somebody who already have a plan कि उनको warehouse में काम करना है, it will be easier for us to convince them and get the the letter of intent signed.
The list which we have shared with you, these are the their proposals are approved by the SMART now. So each APC has a different nature of enterprise which they have proposed, and this is approved. So that approved thing will be supported by a SMART to the extent of 60% of the approved amount, which is already there. So that solution is above that, is top up. So if suppose they have prepared a project for onion store warehouse, and that is approved by SMART already. So there you don't have to prepare similar proposal of that nature, similar nature. You have to go above that, management of the warehouse, how it can be done. Okay, if there is any solution to keep the quality of onion throughout the year, if there are solutions to monitor the quality, something like that. So that solution will be top up with the existing approved solution. So this is a difference between what has been approved till now and what is expected from you people.
Yeah. And sir, if there is any FPO who have already approved, their proposal is approved, and they also have our solution as a line item in the budget. They've already got an approval. They have a warehouse structure, and they took our quotation, and they also have that as a line item, and it is approved. So now, what will be the process for us in that case? Because it is not an add-on; it is already a part of the approved proposal. So what will be our journey?
That will not be a solution of other part of the solution. Now, what we're discussing, this is totally CBO's. Authority to whom they want to engage for a solution, because there is a procurement procedure by World Bank, which is mandatory for the CBOs to follow. So CBOs has to follow some procedure to get the services or the products or the commodities by so and so vendor. That is called vendor in World Bank language. Okay, if consultancy is there, if work is there, or commodity is there. So all three type of procurement they have to do it following the World Bank guideline. Okay. So your solution fits in their already approved project. Then CBO and you should sit together. There is one person called value chain expert from SMART. who is a member of that CBO procurement committee.
Okay.
Value chain expert.
Expert,
Who is working at district level. He is a member of procurement committee of that CBO. So they both will discuss with you, understand what you are offering and what is needed by the CBO, what is approved by SMART. Okay. So and their approval has given approval is with the limit of financial limit is already given there.
Yes.
What limit we have approved the subsidy. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Anybody else? Any regarding particularly this DAT and all this bootcamp?
Sir, Sanjay Joshi here.
Okay, please.
Yeah, so sir, I have spoken to from that list about 4-5 CBOs. So it seems that they are not aware about this SACTEC facility, and they have doubt in their mind that whether this is from our kitty of already the budget which is approved for SMART. So I was trying to explain them that this is over and above. This is a new enterprise facility, but they seem to be not aware about this facility. So so when we were talking about so because already we are like engaging with some of these FPOs, CBOs, work with them.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it happens. Yeah, I'll just interrupt here only because already we have explained you in first session that there is a mechanism of RIU and DIUs who are working on behalf of SMART, and they are the contact points between you and the CBOs. So if the CBOs are not aware, that means these DIUs and CBOs, their conversation has not happened in that case. Okay. So that way you start communicating with the DIUs also, so that DIU and the CBOs will understand what is the solution provided by you people. Okay, so the 4 or 5 FPOs who you are contacting, so give the names with the DIU, start to contact with the DIU also, because they will help you and the DIU come together. Yeah.
Okay.
Sir, this is Vishwajit. I have a question. Hello.
Please.
So this is in regards to the response that you gave to the lady who was asking about the projects and how to engage with the CBOs. So when we see that Excel sheet that has been shared with us, there are a set of columns that are actually talking about what infrastructure has been supported or has been sanctioned. Okay, so now my question is, now there are so many other solutions that which the other people have and with which we would be approaching the CBOs. So if those CBOs actually takes any other solution besides what is mentioned in that Excel sheet, that would not be supported by this particular project? That's what.
Yeah, the solutions which will be helping the CBOs to continue to execute their business is what expected from the agri-tech companies. So if your solution fits in that 6 category, thematic areas are there, you are already selected based on that categorization. So if your solution fits in any of the category, which is not approved by the earlier proposal, not part of the earlier proposal, which is approved by the SMART, so that solution can be added on with the consent of the APCs and with proper understanding of the APCs about your solution, about what activities you are going to do, what they will need to do, what their their participation will be like that, what type of investment they have to do to run these things, and how they will be benefited if the solution is implemented. So all these things when you discuss with them, so it cannot be in many cases it may happen that the earlier supported project or enterprise or the business and your solution may go hand in hand. So that type of you can say synergy, if it is there, then you explain them that if you want to run your approved business and this solution will help you run it more efficiently. So that way you have to explain it and then demarcate your solution in such a way that the proposal sanctioning process will be smooth one. If there is intermingle with the existing approved item line items, then it will be difficult for a project to approve this as a separate entity.
Okay.
So try to demarcate it on project line or project basis, but practically on ground it may be happening in a synergetic manner.
Sure. Thank you.
We can discuss actually those part in later master classes also, because that is a different thing. Once we understand about these requirements of the APCs, definitely for preparation of proposal, we need to understand also what the APCs are in demand, and you need to understand what can be done under this smart project guidelines. Because the project guidelines are yet to be prepared. The preparation is going on. If you refer our full proposal guidelines, which are already communicated to all the DIUs, RIUs, and the APCs, that also will give you an idea how to prepare a full proposal. So LOI stage is first stage, and then the full proposal stage will come. So you can go through the guidelines, which are already there. Okay. Ajay, I think this is from my side. I don't see any more questions from in chat box also.
Naina just had raised one. Naina,
Hi,
please.
thank you. Sorry, I'm asking a very basic question. Is the boot camp for everyone, or only those who are interested for the who are ready for the LOI?
Bootcamp is for those APCs whose proposals are approved by SMART.
So there are no DATs in the boot camp, is it?
Are? So Ajay, please explain her.
Yeah, so Naina, the DATs, all the enterprises have to have a booth in the registration who want to proceed with the letter of intent. So you have to develop a letter of intent. Discussion of the letter of intent will happen at the deal room in the booth, in the event.
Correct. So it's for those who have a very concrete offering. Like some of us has, our product is in the pipeline, So unless you are ready to write something on the LOI, then we are not eligible to participate.
Yeah, so I thought you were working in consortium. So wouldn't working with the partner be something that you would be talking to the CBOs? So when you present the LOI, wouldn't you be presenting something? So this is where you would be, when you talk to the CBOs, you would be developing a proposal that you would want to move ahead with. So for that, you will have to have a conversation with the CBOs that you are interested in, to convince them about the letter of intent that will go to the proposal stage. That will happen during the boot camp, or it will happen during the deal room.
Okay.
Ajay, sorry, this is, again, just for the sake of clarity, in continuation to this. So you are saying deal room. So let's say if I have given 10 names of the CBOs in my, that Google form which you have submitted. So we have, let's say, sir. So those 10 CBOs need to be there, right, in the deal room. If I want to be, discussing the LOIs. So if I take a booth, in the Kisan exhibition in Pune, those FPO CBOs have to be there, right, to discuss.
Yes. Yes. So that is the reason we have asked for the draft LOIs to be submitted by 10th of December. Yes, sorry. So by 10th of December, once you submit the LOIs, we will be scheduling these deal rooms, wherein all the CBOs that you have selected will be invited for the to come to the deal rooms and have a discussion with you. So that is something that would be done.
Ajay, if I can just add here, apart from the CBOs, Smart will also be inviting the RIUs and DIUs, which is why there's also this focus on. And once you do talk to the CBOs for any such query, if CBOs are not able to understand your solution, if they're not aware, you can bring it to the notice of the DIUs and they will interact. Also, vice versa, if you already have some sort of deal going through, please do notify the DIUs, RIUs as well, in terms of the CBOs that you've reached out to, at least, so that, because they are the ones who will be mobilizing these CBOs and making sure that they come to this event, so that a fruitful discussion can happen, which could lead to an LOI. So just wanted to bring that point home, that the DIUs, RIUs, along with the CBOs, will be participating in the bootcamp.
Ajay, Biswajit is asking for a link. I assume you have shared the link for the confirmation, right?
Yes. Just shared it at 12:37, the registration form. for which
Okay.
you have to.
Yeah, hi. Ajay,
Yeah,
am I
hi.
audible? Yeah, I
Yeah,
had a question, Ajay. So, like, which is already being pointed out in the presentation as well. We have tried to reach a lot of CBOs, and initially it looks like some of them are interested, some of them are not that much interested. So, we also wanted to understand if we can get some more time, because in the mail that we received yesterday, it said that you have to fill the Google form by end of the day today. That is by 1st of December. So we wanted to understand, can we get a bit more time for us to, you can have a detailed conversation and again follow up and then finalize the final 10 people. So is that possible, or do we have to submit it by today itself?
So what we can do is we will keep this open. Do submit it by today. We will be, so I'll just quickly, I'm cognizant of time. So just to ensure. So once the information that you shared will be, so you will be taking your DAT IDs from here. This is a sheet that we have shared. And once you have, so please do check these information. These are information that you have shared. We have just put it into these specific buckets. There is information on what these themes mean in the, some issue with my network. Is this visible, Akshay?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it's visible.
Okay, so theme details are there. My sheet is not uploading. So on the right side, after E, there is the name of the CBOs. So once you fill the information, we will be adding the names of the CBOs, which once you have a conversation and you feel that these CBOs do not match, we will give you the provision of changing that. That shouldn't be a problem. Until the date of the LOIs, you have option of changing the CBOs, identifying which are. So the main objective here is to help you identify the best CBO that you can work with, so that so it is both ways. As this is something that we were talking in the masterclass. The CBOs have to be aware and ready to take the technology. All 300 CBOs might not be ready to take technology. Please do not be think that all the CBOs would be interested in taking technology. You will have to identify which CBO is it that they want to take on the technology. What we can provide is a platform where you can connect with these CBOs. We are providing the support of the DIU RIU to increase that outreach. So if you have a specific query for a CBO, it is not possible for you to directly reach out to them. Then the DIU RIU is the right person to reach out to them. So they are a channel for you. This is a way for you to increase your outreach, increase your scope of work, and identify and support CBOs that are out of your reach. So this is a platform where we are trying to create a transparent mechanism for DAT enterprises that we have identified based on evaluation, stringent evaluation. You have been selected based on very set criteria, and a list of enterprise CBOs which we feel have the capacity and requirement for technology. But it is up to the CBOs to take the technology at end of the day. So it is you can add the CBOs just to reiterate, Akshay, the question that you said. We will be adding the CBO names here.
Okay.
Please do check this and
Sure.
Yeah. So also please do start submitting the form. It is okay to change the names later. We will keep that form open, but we need to have that details of the SPOC. Because as Sanjay sir was talking about, Sanjay Joshi ji was talking about, some CBOs are not aware of what is happening. So we are reaching out to the DIU RIU. That is a process that is happening, and the catalog is one of the ways in which we are reaching out to them. And we would like to add the details of the SPOCs to the catalog so that they are also able to reach out to you. So that while this process is happening, where you are identifying CBOs, there might be CBOs who are interested in taking technology and want to reach out to you. So that is also another process that we are trying to create. To add on to this, what Niranjan sir was talking about regarding the digital services that would be provided, there are facilities to reach out to the farmers and farmer collectives, or something that we would be exploring further. So that will help you in increasing the outreach. So all these processes, please do understand, is a way of ensuring a platform for CBOs and DATs to meet and ensure that technology is being adopted. Yeah.
Thanks, Ajay. Thanks.
Yes, thank you. So, is there anyone who has talked to the CBOs? Sanjay ji was talking. I think we are about time. So, okay, so we will have these conversations further. In the interest of time, I would request someone from the SMART team or KWPF World Bank team, if there is anything that needs to be added, and else we can stop the masterclass. And we will be reaching out to you. These informations will be shared on the website. Please do keep track of the website. We will reach out to you with a further mail about next steps. So just to reiterate before someone else can speak, do look at the LOI format. Do look at the CBO list that is provided. Start filling the CBO form. As just explained, it is flexible, so do not worry that you cannot change it. So do add the names that you have. Later, it can be, we will keep it editable so that you can change it later, resubmit it. And register for the boot camps or the Kisan that we have just shared. Yes. Is there any else like to add? Yes, Dr. Preeti.
Yes, Ajay, that's enough for today, I think.
Okay. Thank you. And if you have any further queries, if some queries have not been responded to, please do send in your queries by mail. We are looking at those questions. We are discussing those, and we will get back to you with responses for them. Okay. So thank you so much. Thank you to all the speakers, Tushar sir, Rajendra sir, Vijay sir, and Dr. Preeti. And Samir sir, who has spoken to all the DAT enterprises and give them clear-cut support. So if there is nothing else, we can close this session.
Yeah, let me thank from my side also, Ajay and the team, and cordially invite all the DATs to participate in that boot camp. Thank you.
Yes, yes, please.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.